Okay, so recently I made a video on what I would do if I was in charge of a Superman film, if I was at the helm of a movie. What decisions would I make? How would my movie look? You can check out that video here. Link is in the description below, and there will be a tag in this video. And more or less, if I were to actually make a Superman movie, I would generally do that idea. Now that you know my idea, if that were to ever happen, I would need to change it up a little bit so nothing is technically spoiled. But today, we're going to do the same thing for Batman. I actually have a Batman story that spans a couple of movies or a huge comic book series. It can be easily inserted in a DC cinematic universe, but it can also be relatively just its own separated Batman world where no other hero exists. I'm not going to use this story that I've been working on since I was like 18 years old. I don't want to just give that away. I feel like that is a story I would absolutely love to tell in film, and because the chances of that of ever happening are super slim, I would like to do it a little more epically than just talking about it and telling you what I would do and telling you what my story would do. I would like to do it in a form of a comic book or in animation, or even one day, if this channel gets big enough, a short film somehow. So because of that, I'm gonna go with a different Batman story. A Batman story I personally would like to see on screen as well. There are a lot of Batman comic books that have inspired Batman and film, animation, and any other type of media today. Instead of just directly going for a comic book, adding a twist on it, and creating an adaptation for film, what I would do with a Batman movie is I would literally do a retelling of Arkham Origins. And I would just change certain things about the plot to make it fit into a 2.5 to 45 movie. In my Superman film, I described that Superman has been Superman for some time, maybe 6, maybe 8 months, maybe even a full year. The same thing goes for Batman. Although with Batman, it's a little bit different. I would say this is about his second year, maybe 2.5 years as Batman, the same way it was for The Batman with Matt Reeves. Bruce would be in a situation where pretty much every single night is spent out in the city fighting crime, absolutely no sleep, maybe at most 4 hours of sleep a day. If that, he is so dedicated to his work out in Gotham, nothing else matters. But he's also in a point where after 2 years, he's finally figuring out what it means to be the man behind the mask, and he's feeling unstoppable. He feels like he can go out every single night and return back to his Batcave underneath his mansion with absolutely no issues whatsoever. Basically, within the past 2 to 2.5 years, Batman has spent his time ridding the city of as much mafia gangs as possible. He's removed the Falcones, he's removed the Maronis, he's removed a ton of others, but there are still some standing, but the ones standing are the ones who have the most pull. Batman would find himself in a situation where Penguin and Black Mask are two of Gotham's underground mafia rulers who still stand after the absolute chaos Batman has caused to the underground world of Gotham. A big chunk of what the beginning of this movie would be about Batman dissecting who the weaker of the two are, infiltrating their base and gaining information on the bigger. So for example, he would deduce that I should go for Penguin. I'll destroy the warehouse that Penguin is operating from. I'll question him, interrogate him, try to find Black Mask, and then after that, I'll lead the final charge on Black Mask. Now, we all remember Arkham Origins being about how Black Mask sets out a $50 million bounty on the head for Batman, and Batman, over the course of a night, gets attacked by about 8 different bounty hunters and mercenaries. Some were well more known than others, like Bane, Deathstroke, and Deadshot, But the biggest reveal about the game is nearly halfway through, you ended up finding out that the Black Mask you were indeed trying to chase and take into custody was Joker disguised. Certain things about this would stay the same, some things would change. Black Mask would send out a public bounty towards Batman, causing Batman to get jumped in the worst, most inconvenient times. There would be some well-known mercenaries that do go after Batman so that it could strengthen their name for the future of a DC universe. Now we could always call back to that character first being seen in the first Batman movie and where their story leads down the line 10, 15 years from now. We would also see lesser known mercenaries enter the picture. Not exactly sure if I would want to introduce someone like Deathstroke. I think on the one hand, introducing Deathstroke and having a very neat fight scene between the two of them would be beneficial for the future, because now we could see Deathstroke grow this almost hateful, envious jealousy and passion for Batman, and how Deathstroke will eventually take that hatred onto his family. Or at the same time, you wait for Deathstroke in another movie, in another moment, to develop him in a different way. I'm still a little uncertain on that one. Either way could work. I would remove Bane from this version of the story. I think it works in the video game, but in a movie where you only have about 2.5 hours, maybe at the most 3, I think it's just a little too many villains. But now for the Black Mask reveal, this is what I would do. Yes, I understand Joker is used so much in Batman media today, but it is the truth. With no Batman, there's no Joker. With no Joker, there's no Batman. They literally need one another. Joker is very, 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 very important to the Batman storyline, and if we are doing a cinematic universe style, Joker does need to be introduced as quick as possible. If you were watching this DC cinematic universe, 10, 15 years from now, you should be able to say Joker was there with him in the beginning and he's now here with him in the end. But where I would change this idea with Black Mask is actually Joker and Roman Sionis were in cahoots with one another. So sometimes throughout the film, when Batman runs into Black Mask, it is Roman Sionis underneath the mask. But then sometimes when he runs into Black Mask, it's actually Joker. And there would be a way in the movie, after 2 or 3 rewatches of it, you would be able to find out at what moment Batman was dealing with Black Mask or Joker Black Mask. And the details would be quite subtle, but it would be something like where both Roman and Joker would wear the exact same outfits, but Roman's black leather gloves were all black. Joker's black leather gloves had a white print on the inside of his palm somewhere. Just simple details like that, where when you watch it again in the future, you could be like, oh, he was dealing with Joker Black Mask here or Roman Black Mask there. And sacrificing some details here, but basically what this whole deal would be about is Roman has accepted this because Joker has offered Roman the opportunity to keep the underworld of crime intact, and by the time they remove Batman as a threat, all the underworld of Gotham will crown Black Mask as king, and he will be able to do as he sees fit with gangs and crime lords. Joker, on the other hand, has his own plan. We all know that, but Roman Sionis is too egotistical to even care what Joker wants. He only cares about what he wants, so he accepts the help. Having the money, like $50 million, to throw away at a mercenary for taking on the Batman is a plan between Black Mask and Joker to stop the Batman, and at the very least, because they know he's too good, at least slow Batman down. But for the Joker, it's to see who he's dealing with. Black Mask calls on some of the world's best mercenaries to take down Batman, while Joker sits on the sidelines and analyzes Batman to really see what the future of his friendship with Batman will be for what he wants to be the rest of his life. He's super smart, he's super strong, has some of the craziest gadgets and weapons he's ever seen. His suit is nearly impenetrable. The list goes on. Joker is essentially trying to dissect everything about Batman except for his secret identity, Bruce Wayne. Just some added details as well for other characters. In this film, Batman only has one relationship with the GCPD, and that is Commissioner Gordon. Only him and Gordon get along with one another. They know each other. They trust each other. The GCPD still technically has Batman as a shoot-on-sight order. Now, how many cops actually go through with that? Not many do, because there are actually some cops who do trust Gordon in trusting Batman, but then other cops are not as stupid enough to try and take Batman on their own. Alfred will also, of course, be seen in this movie, and I always envisioned my Alfred being very Michael Caine, but very Jeremy Irons. He looks and plays the role of a butler, but he is also highly trained, and one punch square to your face from Alfred would leave you knocked out for the next 12 hours. Almost very similar to how Andy Serkis looked. Andy Serkis looked very Butler-esque, but you just know this guy could probably do a sweep of the leg, pin you to the ground, and put you in like an unbreakable chokehold. That's how I view Alfred. For Batman himself, when it comes to how technological he has become, he is using some of the best gadgets, weaponry, and technology in general that humanity has to offer in modern day. He's even using things that he himself has created or Wayne Enterprises has created, and the rest of the world hasn't even figured out how to create something like that. Why I would make that such an importance in the film is because we want to show how smart Batman is. We want to show some of the most insane gadgets and things he can do, so that when he is introduced to the Superman, when he is introduced to the fact that there is a whole universe out there who are super powerful, have some of the craziest powers ever known to mankind, and could literally kill him with the flick of a finger through research into other alien races and their technologies that Batman will inevitably dive deep into, we'll be able to see how even more advanced he becomes after using instruments that don't come from Earth. Now, this movie is going to cover a lot, not just story-wise, but it's also going to be a lot on Bruce's body. This guy is trying to defeat crime organizations, crime bosses, all their henchmen, a bunch of highly trained and skilled mercenaries, Black Mask, the Joker, potentially needing to dodge the GCPD all in one night. It is a lot of stress. And I will make it known in the film, especially when conversing with Alfred, that Bruce has never undergone something like this in his two and a half career as Batman. This is the craziest night he has ever had in his life, and can he keep up with it? Is it worth it? Alfred, at the end of the day, just wants Bruce to be safe. The end of the movie would be about Batman going up against Joker to figure out his motive and, frankly, just who this mystery man is. Of course, with every question and inquiry, Batman's answers from the Joker is just met with more uncertainty and more mystery to who he is and where he came from. The only thing that is certain is that Joker has this absolute love for Batman. And Batman isn't just disgusted by this guy. but he's weirded out by him because he's never met a villain of his who absolutely loves him in a very weird, gruesome way. Now, regardless of what happens to Black Mask at the end of the film, maybe he just gets locked into Blackgate Penitentiary, Joker will obviously be sent to Arkham Asylum. But the importance of Joker being in this film, the importance of him being locked down in Arkham Asylum is going to be about the dialogue exchange that he has with Batman throughout the movie, in the final battle, and even in the moment where he gets locked into the asylum, Batman might be standing guard to make sure he is actually behind bars. I don't have any particular lines for you, but I would paraphrase what he would say is essentially, I'm not going anywhere. I will be here every step of the way. No matter what you do and where you go, I will always be involved in some capacity. I am your worst nightmare and your best friend. And it is in that moment, Batman is trying to convince himself he can say whatever he wants. He's behind bars. I will never let him go again. I can't imagine what would happen if a man like that escaped out into the streets of Gotham. But at the same time, Batman would leave that encounter with the Joker thinking to himself, I may have met my match, and I may have met somebody that I will truly never be able to beat. I think I have met my nightmare. And thus, the epic dynamic of Batman and the Joker has been created, and there are only going to be more moments between the two as the years would go on. And also, we would see the Joker become such a big villain that he even toys with other heroes in potential Justice League films. Now, yes, the movie does end with the fact that Batman will forever be haunted by that maniac, but of course, if there is some sort of end credit scene or some sort of scene that could fit into the end of this Batman film, what I would do is I would have Bruce Wayne Batman try to investigate how Black Mask was getting all of this money to spend on all of his business moves in the underworld of Gotham, and how he had $50 million to throw away on a mercenary just to take him out. And basically he finds out a very shady deal between Roman Sionis and Lex Luthor. In my Superman film video, that's why I describe a scene of Lex Luthor and Bruce Wayne shaking hands, is because now Bruce Wayne finds out that funding for Black Mask was coming from LexCorp, and now Bruce Wayne needs to infiltrate LexCorp and try and find out what is going on within that company and what is going on in Metropolis. So there you go. That is one of my ideas for a Batman movie. I do think it is needed to hammer down the importance between Batman and Joker, but I also do think it's very important to show the scope of Gotham City, how seedy and grimy and raunchy that city really is, and to show off other villains that he will deal with in the future. Potentially Black Mask, Penguin, Deathstroke, Deadshot, you name it. And now, not only is this Batman's way into the life of LexCorp, this is also his way into finding out who Superman is. But anyways, everyone, now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this idea. Once again, it's not my first idea. It's one of the many ideas I'd have for a Batman film, but my true Batman film, my true Batman idea, maybe I'll reveal it one day. But that's it for this video, everyone, and until next time, I will talk to you all very soon.